2026 will take place, as he outlined the scramble for post-Saudi investment. O'Neill is seeking $300 million from outside backers to keep the breakaway circuit afloat. That's after Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund announced plans to withdraw funding at the end of the year, having invested more than £4 billion since 2022. Speaking on this, though, O'Neill said, "I've had 5 formal meetings so far. I've got 18 more this week and about the same next week. What's been really interesting is how you slice this. Is it one partner, maybe a big private equity firm, coming in for the full $300 million, or do you have 10 or 12 investors at 50 or 25 million? And finally, finishing in cricket, and Liam Livingstone fired an unbeaten 85 from just 31 deliveries as he guided Lancashire Lightning to a 7-wicket rain-affected win over Durham. Livingstone had earlier had bowling figures of 1 for 19 as he removed Alex Lees to end a 76-run opening stand, as Durham posted 128 for 2 from their 10 overs after winning the toss. Livingstone will then hit 14 boundaries, including 8 maximums in his extraordinary knock, as Lancashire chased down their victory target with 5 balls to spare. The Lightning do remain bottom of the North Group despite their second win of the season, although they have moved level on points with Durham. Elsewhere in the Blast and Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they continued their perfect start to the competition with a 6-wicket win at home to Worcestershire Rapids. In a match reduced to 18 overs aside by the wet weather, Gareth Roderick top scored for the visitors with 47 off 32 balls in a total of 154 for 5. Steelbacks captain David Willey hit 3 sixes and 4 fours and a knock of 47 before an unbeaten 26 from Justin Broad helped the leaders to a 6th successive win with 12 balls remaining. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and Marco Silva has agreed to become Benfica's new head coach. That's as the Portuguese club formalised Jose Mourinho's departure for Real Madrid. Silva, he ended his 5-year stint as Fulham boss a week ago when his contract at Craven Cottage expired. Benfica said they had reached an agreement with Silva, who is set to sign a contract until the end of the 2027-28 season, which can be extended to the 2028-29 campaign. Sticking in football, and Bukayo Saka is an injury worry for England just days ahead of the World Cup. The Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel confirmed that Arsenal winger has been struggling with an Achilles issue and cannot take part in every training session. Tuchel also confirmed it was unlikely Saka would start against Costa Rica on Wednesday in England's final warm-up game before the tournament begins. Also in football, and Ben Davies has signed a new 12-month deal at Tottenham Hotspur to extend his stay at the club into a 13th season. The Wales captain only made 5 appearances during an injury-ravaged last season, but he was praised by Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi for his leadership during a tense and ultimately successful relegation battle in the Premier League. Moving on to golf now, and Live Golf Chief Executive Scott O'Neill refused to be drawn on whether the league's remaining events of 2026 will take place, as he outlined the scramble for post-Saudi investment. O'Neill is seeking $300 million from outside backers to keep the breakaway circuit afloat. That's after Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund announced plans to withdraw funding at the end of the year, having invested more than £4 billion since 2022. Speaking on this, though, O'Neill said, "I've had 5 formal meetings so far. I've got 18 more this week and about the same next week. What's been really interesting is how you slice this. Is it one partner, maybe a big private equity firm, coming in for the full $300 million, or do you have 10 or 12 investors at 50 or 25 million? And finally, finishing in cricket, and Liam Livingstone fired an unbeaten 85 from just 31 deliveries as he guided Lancashire Lightning to a 7-wicket rain-affected win over Durham. Livingstone had earlier had bowling figures of 1 for 19 as he removed Alex Lees to end a 76-run opening stand, as Durham posted 128 for 2 from their 10 overs after winning the toss. Livingstone will then hit 14 boundaries, including 8 maximums in his extraordinary knock, as Lancashire chased down their victory target with 5 balls to spare. The Lightning do remain bottom of the North Group despite their second win of the season, although they have moved level on points with Durham. Elsewhere in the Blast and Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they continued their perfect start to the competition with a 6-wicket win at home to Worcestershire Rapids. In a match reduced to 18 overs aside by the wet weather, Gareth Roderick top scored for the visitors with 47 off 32 balls in a total of 154 for 5. Steelbacks captain David Willey hit 3 sixes and 4 fours and a knock of 47 before an unbeaten 26 from Justin Broad helped the leaders to a 6th successive win with 12 balls remaining. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and Marco Silva has agreed to become Benfica's new head coach. That as the Portuguese club formalised Jose Mourinho's departure for Real Madrid. Silva, he ended his 5-year stint as Fulham boss a week ago when his contract at Craven Cottage expired. Benfica said they had reached an agreement with Silva, who is set to sign a contract until the end of the 2027-28 season, which can be extended to the 2028-29 campaign. Sticking in football, and Bukayo Saka is an injury worry for England just days ahead of the World Cup. The Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel confirmed that Arsenal winger has been struggling with an Achilles issue and cannot take part in every training session. Tuchel also confirmed it was unlikely Saka would start against Costa Rica on Wednesday in England's final warm-up game before the tournament begins. Also in football, and Ben Davies has signed a new 12-month deal at Tottenham Hotspur to extend his stay at the club into a 13th season. The Wales captain only made 5 appearances during an injury-ravaged last season, but he was praised by Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi for his leadership during a tense and ultimately successful relegation battle in the Premier League. Moving on to golf now, and at Live Golf, Chief Executive Scott O'Neill refused to be drawn on whether the league's remaining events of 2026 will take place, as he outlined the scramble for post-Saudi investment. O'Neill is seeking $300 million from outside backers to keep the breakaway circuit afloat. That's after Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced plans to withdraw funding at the end of the year, having invested more than £4 billion since 2022. Speaking on this, though, O'Neill said, "I've had 5 formal meetings so far. I've got 18 more this week and about the same next week. What's been really interesting is how you slice this. Is it one partner, maybe a big private equity firm, coming in for the full $300 million, or do you have 10 or 12 investors at 50 or 25 million? And finally, finishing in cricket, and Liam Livingstone fired an unbeaten 85 from just 31 deliveries as he guided Lancashire Lightning to a 7-wicket rain-affected win over Durham. Livingstone had earlier had bowling figures of 1 for 19 as he removed Alex Lees to end a 76-run opening stand, as Durham posted 128 for 2 from their 10 overs after winning the toss. Livingstone he then hit 14 boundaries, including 8 maximums in his extraordinary knock, as Lancashire chased down their victory target with 5 balls to spare. The Lightning do remain bottom of the North Group despite their second win of the season, although they have moved level on points with Durham. Elsewhere in the Blast and Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they continued their perfect start to the competition with a 6-wicket win at home to Worcestershire Rapids. In a match reduced to 18 overs aside by the wet weather, Gareth Roderick top scored for the visitors with 47 off 32 balls in a total of 154 for 5. Steelbacks captain David Willey hit 3 sixes and 4 fours in a knock of 47 before an unbeaten 26 from Justin Broad helped the leaders to a 6th successive win with 12 balls remaining. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and Marco Silva has agreed to become Benfica's new head coach. That's as the Portuguese club formalised Jose Mourinho's departure for Real Madrid. Silva, he ended his 5-year stint as Fulham boss a week ago when his contract at Craven Cottage expired. Benfica said they had reached an agreement with Silva, who is set to sign a contract until the end of the 2027-28 season, which can be extended to the 2028-29 campaign. Sticking in football, and Bukayo Saka is an injury worry for England just days ahead of the World Cup. The Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel confirmed that Arsenal winger has been struggling with an Achilles issue and cannot take part in every training session. Tuchel also confirmed it was unlikely Saka would start against Costa Rica on Wednesday in England's final warm-up game before the tournament begins. Also in football, and Ben Davies has signed a new 12-month deal at Tottenham Hotspur to extend his stay at the club into a 13th season. The Wales captain only made 5 appearances during an injury-ravaged last season, but he was praised by Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi for his leadership during a tense and ultimately successful relegation battle in the Premier League. Moving on to golf now, and at Live Golf, Chief Executive Scott O'Neill refused to be drawn on whether the league's remaining events of 2026 will take place, as he outlined the scramble for post-Saudi investment. O'Neill is seeking $300 million from outside backers to keep the breakaway circuit afloat. That's after Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced plans to withdraw funding at the end of the year, having invested more than £4 billion since 2022. Speaking on this though, O'Neill said, "I've had 5 formal meetings so far, I've got 18 more this week and about the same next week. What's been really interesting is how you slice this. Is it one partner, maybe a big private equity firm, coming in for the full 300 million, or do you have 10 or 12 investors at 50 or 25 million? And finally, finishing in cricket, and Liam Livingstone fired an unbeaten 85 from just 31 deliveries as he guided Lancashire Lightning to a 7-wicket rain-affected win over Durham. Livingstone had earlier had bowling figures of 1 for 19 as he removed Alex Lees to end a 76-run opening stand, as Durham posted 128 for 2 from their 10 overs after winning the toss. Livingstone will he then hit 14 boundaries, including 8 maximums in his extraordinary knock, as Lancashire chased down their victory target with 5 balls to spare. The Lightning do remain bottom of the North Group despite their second win of the season, although they have moved level on points with Durham. Elsewhere in the Blast and Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they continued their perfect start to the competition with a 6-wicket win at home to Worcestershire Rapids. In a match reduced to 18 overs aside by the wet weather, Gareth Roderick top scored for the visitors with 47 off 32 balls in a total of 154 for 5. Steelbacks captain David Willey hit 3 sixes and 4 fours and a knock of 47 before an unbeaten 26 from Justin Broad helped the leaders to a 6th successive win with 12 balls remaining. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and Marco Silva has agreed to become Benfica's new head coach. That's as the Portuguese club formalised Jose Mourinho's departure for Real Madrid. Silva, he ended his 5-year stint as Fulham boss a week ago when his contract at Craven Cottage expired. Benfica said they had reached an agreement with Silva, who is set to sign a contract until the end of the 2027-28 season, which can be extended to the 2028-29 campaign. Sticking in football, and Bukayo Saka is an injury worry for England just days ahead of the World Cup. The Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel confirmed that Arsenal winger has been struggling with an Achilles issue and cannot take part in every training session. Tuchel also confirmed it was unlikely Saka would start against Costa Rica on Wednesday in England's final warm-up game before the tournament begins. Also in football, and Ben Davies has signed a new 12-month deal at Tottenham Hotspur to extend his stay at the club into a 13th season. The Wales captain only made 5 appearances during an injury-ravaged last season, but he was praised by Spurs boss Roberto De Zerbi for his leadership during a tense and ultimately successful relegation battle in the Premier League. Moving on to golf now, and Live Golf Chief Executive Scott O'Neill refused to be drawn on whether the league's remaining events of 2026 will take place, as he outlined the scramble for post-Saudi investment. O'Neill is seeking $300 million from outside backers to keep the breakaway circuit afloat. That's after Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced plans to withdraw funding at the end of the year, having invested more than £4 billion since 2022. Speaking on this though, O'Neill said, "I've had 5 formal meetings so far, I've got 18 more this week and about the same next week. What's been really interesting is how you slice this. Is it one partner, maybe a big private equity firm, coming in for the full 300 million, or do you have 10 or 12 investors at 50 or 25 million? And finally, finishing in cricket, and Liam Livingstone fired an unbeaten 85 from just 31 deliveries as he guided Lancashire Lightning to a 7-wicket rain-affected win over Durham. Livingstone had earlier had bowling figures of 1 for 19 as he removed Alex Lees to end a 76-run opening stand, as Durham posted 128 for 2 from their 10 overs after winning the toss. Livingstone he then hit 14 boundaries, including 8 maximums in his extraordinary knock, as Lancashire chased down their victory target with 5 balls to spare. The Lightning do remain bottom of the North Group despite their second win of the season, although they have moved level on points with Durham. Elsewhere in the Blast and Northamptonshire Steelbacks, they continued their perfect start to the competition with a 6-wicket win at home to Worcestershire Rapids. In a match reduced to 18 overs aside by the wet weather, Gareth Roderick top scored for the visitors with 47 off 32 balls in a total of 154 for 5. Steelbacks captain David Willey hit 3 sixes and 4 fours and a knock of 47 before an unbeaten 26 from Justin Broad helped the leaders to a 6th successive win with 12 balls remaining. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We're beginning at football, and Marco Silva has agreed to become Benfica's new head coach. That's as the Portuguese club formalised Jose Mourinho's departure for Real Madrid. Silva, well, he ended his 5-year stint as Fulham boss a week ago when his contract at Craven Cottage expired. Benfica said they had reached an agreement with Silva.
Well, a warm welcome along to our coverage of the action taking place in Monterrey. It's the second of the opening two Group F games. Of course, earlier on this evening, or late last night, Netherlands and Japan played out a thrilling 2-2 draw. And a victory between Sweden and Tunisia will send the victors to the top of the table. Obviously, that's if we do have a victor. As far as the lineups are concerned, Sweden go with Nordfeldt, Lagerbielke, Hien, Lindelof, Ben Hardsen, Karlström, Ayari, Gudmundsson, Nygren, Gyökeres and Isak. The match has just got underway. And a territorial kick-off from Tunisia, launching it into touch, maybe 20 yards from the Sweden corner flag. Sweden throw. Tunisia lineup is Chamak, Ben Hamida, Rekic, Talbi, Valery, Skiri, Khedira, Mejbri, Abdi, Ben Slimani and Saad. And a talking point is, what on earth are Sweden doing here? They picked up 2 points in qualifying. It's because of their Nations League campaign, of course. That got them into the playoffs, and they're Victor Gyökeres had a field day, scored 4 goals in the 2 playoff games, overcoming Ukraine and Poland, and Sweden have taken their place in the World Cup. Tunisia, of course, didn't even concede a goal in qualifying, and they might feel they're favourites for this one. Myself, Rob Eddy, and Joe Kenneford taking you through this one. Who do you think are favourites?
Well, I mean, based on what you've just said, Rob, you have to say that Tunisia are favourites. But I've got to say, I'm intrigued to see how Isak and Gyökeres are going to work up top together. You mentioned that Tunisia didn't concede a goal in qualifying, but, these are, on their day, 2 of Europe's, deadliest strikers. So it's going to be a really interesting game. Yeah,
you made a point. You don't often see 2 out-and-out strikers. Whether they play that way as 2 up front, we'll find out. Sweden do have possession, 90 seconds gone. Independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. And this is arguably a must-win game in the sense that the other 2 teams in the group are Japan and Netherlands. I know they only drew, but you might suggest they're the top 2 teams. And neither of these 2 sides can afford to lose the opener. Somebody might have to, as that's a surging run from Lindelof, but a terrible pass at the end of it. It goes behind for a goal kick to Tunisia. Sabou Lamouchi, the Tunisian boss, is already looking very animated on the touchlines as the goal kick is hit long down the Tunisian right. It's actually come off the head of Gudmundsson, who landed awkwardly, but he's quickly back on his feet. Tunisia have a throw and quickly getting on with the game down the right-hand side as Valery tries to get around the outside. He's tackled just on the edge of the box, and Sweden should be able to clear. Challenge goes in. It's a little bit late as Gudmundsson cleared. Valery sliding in. It could be a very early card. The ball's there to be challenged for, but this isn't 2018, it's 2026, and if you don't win the ball, you're asking for a bit of trouble. I haven't seen a yellow card come out, but quite a physical start from Tunisia.
Yeah, that could have easily been a yellow card, Rod, from Valery. Painful one for Gudmundsson, the Leeds player, but I think you'll be all right. Free kick to Sweden, no yellow card for Valery.
Might have got away with it because it's early doors. Gudmundsson is sat up, but not on his feet yet. Did notice in the other game that I've just done, of course, Ivory Coast and Ecuador, the referee a couple of times told players to get up from perceived injury very quickly indeed, and 2 Ecuador players had to spend a minute that they didn't want to on the sidelines. It didn't cost them a goal or anything. Ultimately, Ecuador lost that game, but not because of that incident. All I'm saying is that the referee wanted the game to play pretty continuously, as that's a great recovery challenge by Talbi sliding in, with Isak trying to get away down the left-hand side, cleared up towards the halfway line. Ayari heads forward, but has only found Khedira. And now a little bit of space as Medjugorje's picked it up. Support on the outside from Valerie. Cross takes half a deflection, bounces into the box. Side can't quite control, and it's cleared by Sweden. Diving header. Was that a high boot? No. Talby made the challenge, but no contact from Gyökeres. And now it's 3 on 2.5, maybe 3.5, with the red shirts getting back. It's still with Gyökeres, who's into the box, onto his right foot, can't keep it down. He was going away from goal, and the shot on the half turn, not too far away, but off target.
Yeah, good start though from Gyökeres. He picks it up just inside his own half, really, doesn't he? And he just drives with it, just drives down the left-hand side, cuts in on his right foot, full of confidence, but blasts it over the bar and wide.
Yeah, had a field day in the playoffs. Obviously, it wasn't a great qualifying campaign, but got to the playoffs. Gyökeres stepped up with 4 goals. 3 against Ukraine, the winner against Poland to book Sweden's place in this tournament. Again, it's Tunisia on the attack down the left-hand side. Cross by Abdi is charged down, and now he's out of position as Nigeren brings it forward for the yellow and blue. He's waiting for support to arrive. Eventually it comes from Lager Bielka, but by the same sort of method, the red shirts are funneled back into defensive positions. Now the referee has stopped play close to the Tunisia box, and we've just panned to a second ball on the pitch, which the keeper has no intention of moving. Alexander Isak has had to go and toe poke it behind, so there's only 1 ball on the field. I'm not sure what Shamak was doing there. He was clearly the closest man to the ball. Gael Falcon Perez, the official, by the way, for those who might have been keeping track. A little bit annoying, that stoppage, but Sweden back in possession. Haven't got the ball inside the Tunisia half at the moment. Lost a bit of momentum. They were just building some. The Gyökeres attack. Another break down the right-hand side, but now Lindelof goes long. Isak trying to get in behind. He might not get there first. It's parried away. It's come to a shot. Edge of the box after the keeper flapped. A shot from 25 yards out. It's in the back of the net. Sweden have scored. A thunderous strike from about 25 yards out. Ayari it was with the goal. Rifled it in. Isak had a chance. Nigren had a chance. And eventually it's Ayari who's giving Sweden a very early lead. Yeah,
great strike from Ayari. I don't know if you saw, Rob, but it looked like he seemed to not want to celebrate too much. I think he's got Tunisian descent, so I think that's probably why he's a bit reserved in his celebration, as he's kissing the pitch as he scored a brilliant goal. Great volley from Ayari. And Sweden, in the first 10 minutes, they've been the better side, so I think they deserve the 1-goal lead.
They're going to have a look at offside, and I think Isak is going to be onside. He arced his run back. Now he's put pressure on Shamak, who parried away from Isak, but the ball then fell to Gyökeres. His shot was blocked after he rounded the keeper, but then it's out to Ayari, just outside the D. He's hit it with force. It's gone through the hands of the keeper, but the keeper's saving this at the edge of his box rather than in a normal position. Less reaction time. There's a man on the line, it's gone over his head. Sweden have been more attacking under Graham Potter. There's no doubt about that. They couldn't have been more poor, I suppose, before him. And that's a really early goal to settle them down. And as you say, they've already proved they've been the better side, or they've made the better start.
Yeah, it's a rocket from Ayari, isn't it? Even the defender on the line couldn't head it away. It was a great goal, and exactly the perfect start that Graham Potter would have asked for his team.
He might have scored prior to that. Isak wanted to take a touch, didn't bounce kindly for him. Gyökeres had his shot blocked, but Ayari was even further out. The shots kept getting further out from goal, and it's a thunderbolt from Ayari into the back of the net. Sweden fans already celebrating. And an early goal might just settle them down to start dominating this game. What it does for Tunisia, we'll find out. It's obviously very early to think about going hell for leather, trying to get an equaliser. Medjugorje trying to tackle Lager Bielka has actually come off worse. It's another ball over the top. This time down the right-hand side for Bernhardsson. It's overcooked and he's going to go behind for a goal kick, but that's a couple of balls they played down the channel. I don't know what Hannibal Mejbri is expecting. He's tried to challenge Lagerbielke. Was he trod on? I don't know. It's difficult to suggest that Lagerbielke's fouled him, though.
No, it wasn't a foul for me. Hannibal just got his legs in a little bit of a tangle and came out the worst, really. So no foul for me.
Yeah, the referee, of course, didn't stop play, didn't invite him off the field either. He's eventually back on his feet, and Tunisia now have a free kick. And it's only about 10 yards, both in from the touchline and into the Sweden half. But it looks as though Mejbri is going to. He's stealing a few yards as well, rolling the ball ever further forward and again. And if the referee notices that might be a problem. But he's only gained a couple of yards. And it's in a wide-ish position. The Swedish line is just level with the edge of the D. It's going to be launched into the middle. Well, it's attempt to launch it into the middle. Doesn't beat the man at the near closest to him. Goodmanson pumps it back into the Tunisia half. Chamak will hit long as he's closed down by Isak. Lindelof wins the first header. Ayari's got the Saka ball. Little Cruyff turn as well as induced a foul from Kadira. And it's a free kick to Sweden. Always disappointing when the free kick or set piece doesn't beat the first man.
Yeah, really bad from Hannibal. Really poor one. It's, like you say, when it doesn't beat the first man, it's unless it's a intentional thing. Sometimes that they try for the the training ground free kick, but that was just a poor attempt from Hannibal.
Sweden with a free kick on the halfway line, worked out to the left hand side. Obviously no need to push things too much as far as Sweden are concerned. No need to. They might. They've already exposed Tunisia a couple of times. Just Karlstrom invited the challenge from Hannibal, who did take it away from him, but he actually only tackled the ball into Bernhardsson. He's gone down the line for Gyökeres, who's held it up. Slight miscommunication between Nygren and Bernhardsson. They have kept it alive in terms of their possession, but it's worked back to the halfway line as they slow things down. Lagerbielke out to Bernhardsson, back to Lagerbielke, who's going back into his own half, now plays it all the way back to Nordfeldt. Sweden start again. 12 minutes ticking over in Monterrey. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Sweden already 1-0 up. Ayari with the goal in the 7th minute. And that's a good turn from Isak. Support on the left from Goodmanson. Isak. Ayari played back to the centre circle. Not particularly well. He's asked Ian to go and fetch that one. So momentum lost a little bit. But Sweden dictating play. Starting to monopolise possession, and they're keeping possession as well as playing that direct ball in behind, keeping Tunisia very much on their toes in these early stages. Of course, they've already scored. They're on the attack. Slightly miscued pass on this occasion from Bernhardsson. Tunisia back in possession, albeit under pressure. Hannibal turns away from Lagerbielke and finds a little bit of space for Saad, who dropped very deep, sprinting forward. He's got support to his left. He finds the support shot, saved by the keeper, and then hooked away, not very far. It's picked up left-hand side. Another shot comes in from a tight angle, Bensamani. This time it's blocked by a defender and goes behind for a corner kick. Nobody trapped Bensamani. Looking at a replay, he's probably offside. He didn't score though, so that I don't think has been checked. Shot from a wider angle, lacked the power, but was blocked. Might have still been on target. Hien in the way. It's behind for a goal kick, and presumably the offside was eventually flagged because it's Sweden in possession.
It was Saad who was driving forward with the ball, and he just took an age to pass the ball to Ben Slimani, and by the time he eventually did, Ben Slimani's in an offside position. Wasn't called, but it would have been called if they'd scored from it. So if he released the ball a little bit earlier, they didn't score anyway. But you were just screaming at the screen there. I was asking him to pass, and he just took an eternity.
Yeah, it's probably a confidence booster for Nordfeldt though, making the save. He didn't know the offside was given. You'd expect him to make the save with the shot, but you never quite know. Might have overcommitted, etc. But he's made the save. As I say, should settle him down if he was feeling any nerves. Goodmanson, with a great surging run moments ago, didn't follow up with the same sort of success with the cross. Easily dealt with by Tunisia, but it's just really a clearance from Tunisia, because Sweden have it in their possession, just inside their own half. And I would say they're not in a rush at the moment. By the same token, Tunisia are happy for them to have it. Already been caught with a couple of long balls. Maybe they're worried. Nice pass from Isak out to the right hand side, and Bernhardsson closed down well by Abdi, but it is a throw in to Sweden, halfway inside the Tunisian half, with just about 15 minutes gone. But possession stats are very much going in Sweden's favour. 68-32 at the moment. 3 shots, 2 are on target. Of course, a couple of those came in the same instant for the goal. Gyökeres has had another effort as well, just from inside the box on the half turn. And of course, if Tunisia had a shot, it wouldn't have counted had it gone in, as we've seen on a replay. Sweden 1-0 up and enjoying themselves at the moment. They'd obviously love a second goal at some point to settle further nerves, but perhaps no surprise, Tunisia aren't exactly putting the press on just yet.
No, I mean, there's no need. I mean, you know, Sweden just sort of moving the ball around. They're playing really well, actually. I'm quite impressed by Sweden. But there's no need for Tunisia to panic. They had a really, really strong qualifying campaign.
Isak tries to work the 1-2 down the left-hand side, and there's a great turn of pace to beat the first man, but there's a second defender coming across to win the ball back, Khedira. Again, it's clearances put themselves under pressure. Now it's coming together. Ayari might have just been a fraction late, thinking he could have snuck the ball away. But Rekik got his body in the way. He's certainly feeling it. That's the impression he's given. He's helped to his feet by Ayari. So have another look at the goal. Independent, unofficial off-tube stereo commentary. It's very easy to criticise the keeper, of course, but he is out of position. He's gone through his hands, but he's beyond the penalty spot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good bit of goalkeeping at first, because Isak had a bite, Gyökeres had a bite. He made a save there, and the ball just went to Ayari, and he just made no mistake. It was an absolute thunderbolt, wasn't it? Right into the top corner of the Tunisia net. So I think if the keeper, I don't see it as a goalkeeper mistake, that goal.
Yeah, there was pressure applied to Gyökeres. I mentioned he rounded the keeper, but just as he's pulling the trigger, he's getting half tackled and took all the sting out of the ball. It was on target. Obviously, Tunisia might look at that and think they could have done a little bit better in clearing it further. Might have even been able to take a touch in that sense. Again, at walking pace, Hayan has it. He's eventually closed down by Ben Slimani, but there's always an option, seemingly, for Sweden at the moment, as it's worked out to the right-hand side, and Bernhardsson, not a good pass from him. Bit of a fight for the second ball. Falls the way of Hannibal, who feeds it quickly forward to Sard, who again turns, injects a bit of pace and energy. He might shoot himself this time, and he does. Can't quite keep it down. Again, it's a strike that had a bit of venom in it, but unlike Ayari's, wasn't quite on target.
No, it was a good opportunity for them. He just had the chance to switch onto his right foot, shimmy a little bit and go for the strike, but we needed a worldie to score from there, Sard.
Yeah, decent power. Of course, he was in a similar position to the attack they had a couple of minutes ago when he just delayed his pass to the left-hand side. Ben Slimani, who would have been offside. This time he took it upon himself. Not a bad strike, but not testing Nordfeldt in the Sweden goal. Sweden, of course, have been pretty poor defensively of late. They have been more attacking and tend to score, but they don't keep clean sheets. So this game, you wouldn't think is over. Lovely turn from Ayari. Plays an early ball towards Gyökeres, asking a bit too much of the Arsenal front man, because he was playing catch-up. He wasn't playing on the shoulder like Isak when he sprung the offside. And Tunisia are able to smuggle it clear. 19 minutes ticking over. Obviously it's very early to say, because there's not a quarter of the game gone yet, but Tunisia will be under pressure if it finishes like this. Both of these sides have got to play Netherlands and Japan, who are arguably better than Sweden or Tunisia, depending on which way you're looking at it. They two, of course, played out a draw. I would obviously agree with that sentiment from a Netherlands perspective, and ordinarily I probably would for Japan, but Japan have actually got a few injury problems, which obviously is just unfortunate, and maybe they're not the second best team in this tournament that I'm making them out to be.
Yeah, it's an intriguing group, Rob. It's a really intriguing group. You imagine that the Netherlands are definitely the front runners to win the group, and then it's just a matter of who's going to finish second, third and fourth. But Sweden versus Japan will be a really interesting game in this group.
Yeah, and of course if they stayed fit and gelled, and Sweden's defence holds out to a degree, you might not want a better front two than Gyökeres and Isak to find a winner in a tight game. That's obviously what Sweden have available to them as things stand. Isak's had injury problems this season, well documented of course, but he's looked quite lively in what we've seen in the opening 20-21 minutes of this contest, as it's Hannibal who tries to set Abdi away. I thought that was going to be a great first touch on his chest, but he was so close to the touchline that he couldn't actually quite keep it in. But yeah, Tunisia haven't quite shrugged off that opening goal and settled into any kind of possessive rhythm at the moment. It seems to be all Sweden. Yeah,
it does seem to be all Sweden. They've got way more in terms of possession stats, 69% compared to Tunisia's 31%. But Saad's had a couple of opportunities to sort of drive on with the ball and maybe have a few strikes at the goal. But Sweden have been definitely the dominant team. But 1-0 scoreline at the moment, anything can happen.
The second goal would be lovely for Sweden, but they haven't necessarily threatened it. Let's not forget the goal came in the 7th minute. We're now in the 22nd. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Of course, there was the shot from Ben Slimani, which offside, yes, but it was a shot. Could have been a chance had the pass been released just moments prior. And of course, Saad's had the next attempt of the game, so a sign that Tunisia are at least getting into the game. But it's Sweden in possession, and Gudmundsson offering the width on the left-hand side, trying to use his pace, gets a cross in, taken on the chest by Gyökeres. It's taken him out of the area, but he's still got possession, although Ayari looked for an early ball into the box to Nygren, half intercepted. There's a tug back from Gudmundsson as Mejbri was trying to bring it clear, and so that's a free kick to Tunisia. On the halfway inside their own half, and just going into the 23rd minute, the referee has decided that seems an appropriate time to take the first hydration break of this game. It's not necessarily a great introduction to the game in the sense that, yes, player welfare obviously paramount, but not every game seems to necessarily be affected by the heat. I suppose you've got to be consistent. Many people will be looking at this in different ways. It's a chance to get, depends if your side's losing. I bet Tunisia are loving this hydration break right now. Sweden not so much, but 23 minutes ticking over. The goal came in the 7th minute. Isak, ball over the top. It just bounced away from him. It was parried away from him by Shamak. Gyökeres then picked up the ball, went round Shamak, but he was closed down just as he pulled the trigger. It was blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box, but only to Ayari, who thundered one in from the edge of the D. And that's what separates the two sides. Possession stats, as Sam mentioned, it's around about 70-30. 3 shots to Sweden, 1 to Tunisia. 2 on target to 0. But after a bright start from Sweden, I don't think they're quite as dominant at the moment. Do you think that's potentially nerves?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure. I mean, the water breaks very, very... So far, it's proved to be quite a disruption for the game and the flow of the game. So it's an opportunity for Tunisia to maybe regroup, have a conversation with the coach, and pass this message on to the team. So we could get a completely different quarter of the first half after the water break. As you can see, the tactics board out for Graham Potter's side. So who knows what he's saying to his team? Probably more of the same from Graham Potter's side. But for Tunisia, you probably want a little bit more intensity from his side, and a little bit more, directness, because Sweden have been very, very direct so far. I think Tunisia probably would do well to go for a similar kind of tactic, get the ball to Saad as much as possible, get the ball to Hannibal Mejbri as much as possible. They're attacking players, they're influential players, but at the moment it's been all Sweden from possession based anyway.
Yeah, obviously had a fantastic defensive record in qualifying Tunisia, but the recent friendlies, the build-up to this contest, doesn't look like they've got many goals in them. They haven't scored in any of their last 3. Admittedly, these are just friendlies, warm-ups, however you want to look at them. They did beat 10-man Haiti in March, but have since drawn 0-0 with Canada. They lost 1-0 to 10-man Austria, and then they had a man sent off last week in a 5-0 defeat at the hands of Belgium. So goals look an issue, potentially against the bigger sides, and if they are the winners of this group, then that's the other 3 teams. The defence has got to be a lot tighter than what it was. I suppose you don't see many sides being as direct as the goal was. A ball over the top, sprung the offside, and of course the defence isn't there because Isak's quick. Shamak had to deal with it. Players restarted following the hydration break, but Tunisia just had possession in their own half. And it might have just been caught unawares. Not every team goes for those balls over the top, but goals could potentially be a problem. They need to produce from somewhere, obviously, in this game to get something out of it.
Yeah, definitely. But on the Sweden goal, as you say, it was just a direct ball over the top to Isak, who had made a run in behind the defence. And it was a really, really good run. And that's what we've seen from Sweden so far. They've got 2 big strikers up top. Why not play to their strengths? So Isak running in behind. Gyökeres was there to pick up the pieces, and then Iari was there to strike it home. But I think that Sweden have been really good so far, getting their 2 strikers involved in the game. I think one of the problems for Isak this season, when he has played in the Premier League for Liverpool, is he's just not been involved at all when he's played in these games. But in this game, he's full of confidence. He's coming from deep. He's making runs in behind, and he's getting plenty of touches on the ball, and that's proved vital so far for Sweden.
Yeah, Gyökeres offers the option in behind on this occasion. He does get to the ball near the touchline, keeping it in though. He's merely giving it back to Tunisia, who do break better this time, working it from left to right. There's a bit of space for Rakic coming forward, width held by Valery, but Sweden have actually got bodies back behind the ball as it's worked back out to Valery, right hand side. Decides not to cross, but he'll let Rakic do that in towards the box, headed away by Hain, only as far as Saad, about 25 yards out left channel. It's Hannibal, pretty aimless cross into the box, headed easily away by Lindelof to the halfway line. Tunisia start again, this time working out to the left hand side. Abdi back to Hannibal, who switches play from left to right, and then it was Valery let it bounce, but it's gone over. It's gone high enough that it's gone over the touchline before he can keep it in, and it will be a throw-in defensively for Sweden. One thing in Tunisia's favour, Sweden haven't kept a clean sheet for a year. Obviously that's not playing every week, but it's 9 games without a clean sheet, which includes a defeat to 10-man Kosovo, in which they didn't score. They have picked up on the scoring front under Graham Potter, and of course they've scored in this game already. So, but defensively they've not been strong, and Graham Potter hasn't solved that issue either. They scored 6 goals in the playoffs, but also conceded 3, so it wasn't exactly vintage Sweden. But the important thing is they've got to this tournament. Still a long way to go. 29 minutes ticking over in Monterrey. Tunisia have just enjoyed a spell of possession without necessarily threatening. Saad has it. Edge of the box. Turns. Tries to find Medjbri. It's only partially cleared. Saad then tries to thread the eye of a needle. As Ben Slimani was involved as well, but the counter is on for Sweden down the left-hand side. Isak showing his pace. Support is arriving. Shot comes in. Oh, and it's bounced over the keeper. It was hit low and hard-ish. It looked as though Shamak had it covered, but to me, I think he's taken a little bobble. Whether that's enough of an excuse to obviously excuse Shamak, I don't know, but it's the second goal for Sweden inside half an hour, and Isak has got it. Sweden 2, Tunisia 0.
They're causing so many issues, Gyökeres and Isak. It's a great bit of play from Gyökeres in the build-up. Just picks it up and swivels the ball into the path of Isak, and he's just running down the left-hand side where he likes to be in that left channel, and just cuts in, goes for the right-footed strike. But Rob, that is a howler from the goalkeeper, if you ask me. You mentioned a bobble. I'm not sure if he deserves that benefit of the doubt for me. I think that's a goalkeeping error from me, but take nothing away from certainly the build-up from Gyökeres and the strike from Isak. But that's a goalkeeping error. Yeah,
we're going to get the ref cam now. I do think it left the ground. Different angle. The referee can't stand still. This might be a better angle. He's hit it low. He's gone one-handed in the end, which doesn't help. Yeah, it's not that much of a bobble. I mean, it's a bounce, isn't it? It's a bounce rather than a bobble. You're right. The keeper's made a howler. Isak doesn't care. He's hit it hard and true, and he's kept it down. He's hit the target. The benefit of hitting the target exemplified on that occasion. And again, it was lovely interchange between the two. Gyökeres took a touch, dropped deep, and then hooked it into space as Tunisia come forward. A shot on the edge of the D was blocked into at the ground. Won't fall for Saad. And Khedira it was with the strike, but a slight miscue. Obviously, Tunisia 2-0 down. Might have to go after Sweden a little bit more now. Could leave them exposed. Don't want to get too carried away. Of course, they might think we'll have to take our points in the other two games, but that won't be easy. And maybe in the 32nd minute, it's a bit too early to be talking about that. But 2-0 down at the moment, they look up against it. Sweden fans in the crowd absolutely enjoying it. Graham Potter's probably enjoying it as well. Couldn't have asked for a sweeter start, Sweden. 2 goals. Isak looking dangerous. Gyökeres playing his part. And of course, relatively solid at the back. As half-time approaches, still a fair way away. And I guess nothing changed. The hydration break came with Sweden perhaps enjoying themselves, and they've got a second goal just after it as they're breaking down the right-hand side again. Bernhardsson is tackled just before he crosses. Abdi puts the challenge in, and this might just be the first corner of the game.
Yeah, it is the first corner of the game, I think. But the hydration break, a little bit after Tunisia enjoyed a little bit more possession, but not much, and certainly weren't threatening when they had the ball. But Isak and Gyökeres have been absolutely outstanding as a pair. They've been running in behind, they've been coming deep, and they've been causing all sorts of problems for Tunisians' defence.
Corners plenty in the 6-yard box. There's plenty in the centre of the 6-yard box. This is an Everton corner as it's worked in towards the far post, and is that Lindelof up from the back? He's headed it over the bar, and he's walking away with almost his shirt coming off his shoulder as he makes the point to the referee he's being tugged. But still, whether he's fouled or not, that looked a semblance of a chance.
Yeah, it was a good ball in from Nigren, left-footed corner, and Lindelof was challenging with Valery. Valery might have had a tug of his shirt, hence why we saw Lindelof's shirt slightly ajar, but it was a good opportunity for Sweden to treble their lead.
Yeah, 2-0 up with around about 11 minutes to go to the break. There will, of course, be, you would think, be at least 3 minutes of stoppage time because of the hydration break. Obviously, Tunisia and Sabri Lamouchi in particular probably got things to think about. How long they've got to make the changes that might be required to turn this game around. That'll be in his own head. As I say, so close. There's more than 10 minutes left of the first half, and they haven't really threatened Sweden's advantage at the moment. And obviously, with that headed chance from Lindelof moments ago, it's Sweden who've arguably threatened the third goal of the contest. They're coming forward again with Bernhardsson, but slightly overrun. It should be cleared by Abdi. Not very well, although Karlström just getting ahead of Ben Hamida. It's a tackle basically that's knocked the ball all the way behind for a goal kick to Tunisia, and we're getting a second replay. Another replay of the second goal. I really want that to have bobbled for Shamak. It just bounced, and it didn't bounce particularly high. I don't know why. Maybe you'll have a better idea. It looks as though he's going two-handed, but then in the end went one-handed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your allegiance to Shamak is. It just yeah. I mean, these pitches. A lot of people are going to be critical of these pitches in the US, aren't they? They're probably very, very dry, and they will naturally be quite bobbly. So, yeah, there might have been a little bit of a bounce there. It wasn't the cleanest strike from Isak, but he's all he cares about is getting the ball on target, and it just sort of, I don't know whether he takes his eye off it a little bit, the goalkeeper, or whether you said he was going with two hands, ended up going with one. It's just gone through him. It's just sort of bounced over his left hand and just trickled into the net.
Yeah, fairly inexperienced. 3 caps. Whether it's going to cost him more caps in this tournament remains to be seen. Corner kick to Sweden on their right hand side. Bernhardsson winning it off his opposite number, Ben Hamida. And again, they're going very Premier League corner type delivery into the box. It's parried away. Still can't quite clear the lines. Tunisia, as it was kept alive just on the edge. Just so many bodies in the box. Difficult to counter that in the sense of what a referee's supposed to do. You know there's plenty of jostling going on. The keeper's getting obstructed, etc., etc. Haven't really seen it at the World Cup in the opening 3 days or so, but clearly it's a tactic that Sweden are adopting.
Yeah, Graham Potters just wants his team to just completely flood the 6-yard area, make it a bit of a chaotic, box of frogs, if you like, and just create as much havoc as possible. And the 2 corners for Sweden, I believe they've won the first ball in both corners.
It's going to be a long throw now. Going to be launched in by Gudmundsson, so the attack's still on. Is it a good long throw? Not the best. Oh, it bounces into the area, comes to the edge of the box, and it just bounced away from Ayari. There's no chance of a counter because Tunisia got everybody back behind the ball. It's worked out to the left-hand side. Isak with his pace has got there ahead of Abdi. He's held up the ball well. Don't know if there's a bit of afters there. The referee's playing on with Sweden in possession, albeit now in the centre circle with Lindelof. High out to the right hand side. Karlström, they've slowed it down, maybe so that Isak can get back to his feet. Obviously they're 2-0 up Sweden, no need to push things. Draw Tunisia out, find the gaps that they've been exploiting so well already. As Gyökeres drops deep again this time. Gudmundsson on the overlap, driving infield before switching play to Isak, who's one-on-one with Abdi. Couple of step overs away from goal, just coaxes it into the D. The referee's not going to give a free kick that Sweden wanted. There's a counter on as it's picked up by Ben Slimani, but after beating his first man, he didn't realise there was another behind. And a bit of disappointment on the face of Karlström, because he made the challenge thinking I've got to tackle him, as opposed to I can have possession in an advanced area. It's gone out of play for a throw-in to Tunisia, and that's good play from Valery because he's withstood the pressure from Ayari. The pass is poor. He's gone early downfield to Ben Slimani, and it's asking far too much, and Ben Slimani doesn't even give chase as Nordfeldt floats it from the right of the D out to the left wing. Didn't look a great ball. Saad closes down Lindelof, who just plays it up to the halfway line. Tunisia have it back, and a chance for Rekik to bring it forward, although there is a bit of pressure being applied by the men in yellow. Or yellow and blue, should I say. Gudmundsson had a good season for Leeds. leading from the front. Not necessarily an out-and-out left-back in this game. He's offered plenty of width and the desire to get forward. And again, the pressure condensed the space a little bit. Applies the pressure on the Tunisian players in possession. Loose pass. Sweden have it back. And at the moment, there's one team in it.
Yeah, and it's Sweden. They've just been better in every regard, haven't they? They've been stronger, they've been quicker, they've been moving the ball around better, they've been utilising their attacking players much better, as we've seen with Gyökeres and Isak. And they look like they're going to go into half-time with the lead, and deservedly so. And I have to say, so far, there's a cross here now for opportunity for Sweden. Oh, it's not quite got it there.
Yeah, just a bit too far ahead of Gyökeres and arching away from him. Left-footed in from the right, always heading towards goal, and Gyökeres was playing catch-up. A nice turn from Rekic, but he's deep inside his own half. Just wrong-footed Isak for a moment. Saad tries to beat two, can't, and so Sweden come forward in possession. And they actually slow it down, going back into their own half. I suppose if it is warm, Sweden might struggle with the heat, potentially. Obviously, it's a night-time game. I think they're just conserving energy. I don't think they're tired or anything, but I think they're well aware that one way that they can exploit Tunisia is have a bit of possession on the halfway line and then hit them when Tunisia think, I've got to go and get the ball. They counter very quickly when the space opens up.
Yeah, and every time that Tunisia have had the ball and looked like they've gone on the attack, Sweden have just had sort of two banks of four, and they've just left Gyökeres and Isak. It's almost as if they've got free rein to just stay up the field and be there on the counter-attack anytime that Sweden can break. It's very classic sort of two-pronged attack, if you like, where Gyökeres is sort of coming deep and Isak's going in behind. That's how the second goal came from, or vice versa. It's a really, really good show of how to play effectively with two strikers that you don't really see very often these days.
Yeah, Nygren's just fouled Hannibal. He's part of an attacking triumvirate, really, although he doesn't quite get in his advanced positions as two players that Joe just mentioned. Hannibal reacted to the challenge from Nygren. He only gave him a push, but it's a retaliatory push, which sometimes earns yellow cards. He certainly looked frustrated. Tunisia will be, because they've had a decent amount of possession in many ways, particularly of late. They just don't look threatening. As I say, that Valerie's breaking down the right-hand side. His cross not the best. It's only partially cleared. Saad and Hannibal getting each other's way. Again, it's a hurried clearance. Rekic picks it up. Hannibal out to the right-hand side. He's underhit the pass to Valerie. The sliding challenge from Gudmundsson puts it into touch. Throw into Tunisia, who have just crept back up to plus 40% possession. They've got a potential long throw at the moment. Obviously, there's been a desire from the officials to hurry things along from a throwing perspective, but long throw's coming up. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but Sweden win the first header. Back to the throw-in taker, Valerie. Hannibal, right on the touchline, crosses in towards the near post, glancing header across the keeper. It's in the back of the net. Tunisia have got a goal back from a set piece. Great ball in from Hannibal to that near post. It did look as though Sweden were a little bit static. They paid the penalty. Tunisia back in it. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1.
Yeah, lifeline for Tunisia. It seemed to come out of nowhere, didn't it? It was the long throw which Sweden seemed to sort of half clear. And then the ball came out to Hannibal unchallenged, and he had a cross earlier in the game, didn't he? I think he had a free kick and he failed to beat the first man, but that was a wonderful right-footed in-swinging cross, and a good sort of glancing kind of header from Rekic into the opposite corner of the goal. No chance for the Sweden goalkeeper Norfeldt, and yeah, a great time for Tunisia to pull one back.
2-1 with half-time almost upon us. So we've got maybe 90 seconds left of the 45. There's likely to be, as I say, at least 3 minutes of added time. Bit of belief though for Tunisia. I mean, okay, it's not fancy. Long throw wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It was only partially cleared. Good ball in from Hannibal, gave somebody a chance. It was actually inch perfect. Rekic, I don't think, needed to jump. Maybe Sweden were a little bit off pace in terms of picking up their markers, picking up their men. But a cool header as well. Didn't need to get too much, just get the right touch, and it was perfect. Nordfeld didn't even move, no chance at all. And Tunisia back in possession, trying to put a diagonal in from right to left. Good header clear though from Ben Hardson. And now there's space for Negron to break. Plays it down the right channel. If he can get an early cross in, Isak's in space. Didn't quite see him, maybe didn't get the shout. He did have two to try and beat. Tackle comes in from Talby. Thought it might have brushed the feet of Gyökeres there, but throw in to Sweden. Not too far from the corner flag. I don't know if Gyökeres saw him, because if he played that in early, Isak's all alone.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good run down that right channel from Gyökeres, but I suppose if there's one thing that he maybe does lack is a little bit of pace. So if he'd had that little bit of pace, maybe he would have had the opportunity to swing the ball in for Isak, but the best he could do was a throw.
Long throw coming up from Goodmanson. Has come over to the right hand side. It's actually inadvertently flicked on by Tunisia, and then a header at the far post under a bit of pressure. It's going wide, and it might not have reached the goal line. For a moment Chamakh didn't look certain, but not a yellow shirt in sight. 4 minutes of stoppage time, which we are into the first. Not sure what the referee was pointing at there. It's a throw-in to Tunisia, so maybe Goodmanson's delivery was a foul throw.
Yeah, he ran onto the pitch, I think.
Trying to hurry up, having come from the left to the right. Foul throw in the end, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. A minute of stoppage time just about completed. Sweden on the front foot, looking to re-establish a two-goal cushion. They haven't got much time to do it, as Ben Hardson has been quite lively down the right-hand side, this time cutting inside Abdi. Wins the free kick and a set-piece chance, not to shoot for goal, but certainly to deliver into the box.
Yeah, we've had, I think Sweden have had two corners so far, both whipped in left-footed from Negron, and the initial header's been won by Sweden every time, so it's a chance now. Negron's not going to take it. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger this time from Ayari, but the Sweden players, the big centre-backs and the two lads up top are waiting for Ayari to whip the ball in right-footed.
Yeah, it's they're trying to keep a high line, but they're not that far behind the ball actually. As Ayari, well, he had so much space to work that into. He's hit it almost into the keeper's hands, who didn't have to move. A bit of a waste from Ayari. Didn't need to go so deep, given how high Tunisia were trying to defend. Now there's a counter worked out to the right-hand side. Saad. 2 or 3. Oh, he tried a trick which didn't quite work. He's actually recovered to win the ball back with a good turn of foot. Lindelof thought he's just gobbling up loose possession. Saad's kept it alive. Tries to work a 1-2. Lindelof heads away. Smashed downfield by Goodmanson. Gyökeres gives chase, but Valery wins the first header. Loose touch, though, from Skiri. That's allowed Goodmanson to clear, but he sliced that somewhat, and so 30 seconds into the third minute of stoppage time. We've got more than a minute left. Tunisia, well, it'd be quite remarkable if they were to equalise before the break, but they got a chance to at least try and affect something. Played it through the middle, and Hian just had enough pace to get there. Header Ben Slimani, up further away from danger by Larka Bielka. Throw in near the halfway line to Tunisia. Hannibal's getting all sorts of frustrated by whatever the referees run all the way to the halfway line. Clearly somebody in the technical area has said something or done something they shouldn't have done, and yeah, it's all getting very head up. It seems as though Tunisia have got a problem with a decision or something. Fourth official is having a word with the bench. Tunisia got possession though into the 4th minute of stoppage time. Saad has it. Right edge of the box. Support comes from Ben Slimani. They're going across the field with Hannibal 30 yards out. Pretty central at the moment. Looking for an option. It's not obvious. Comes through Abdi. Down the line for Ben Hamida. Again, they're not going forward particularly quickly. Ben Slimani. Maybe 20 seconds left of the 4th minute of stoppage time. Obviously the referee might add something more on it, I don't know. But time at the end of the first half is running out. And Hannibal has it 40 yards from goal now. They're going further away from goal in possession. And then Hannibal's almost tackled. Isak's trying to bring it away. He's bailed out by Ben Amida coming across. And the 4th minute of stoppage time is completed. The referee blows for half-time. Seems a bit of a wasted opportunity to at least get the ball into the box for Tunisia. But the good thing for them is they're at least back in the game after that wreckage goal. At the break, Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Off time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Off time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Off time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Off time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with with a glancing header. Half-time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half-time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half-time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in from the edge of the box, but Shamak tagged all around it. But almost on the stroke of half-time, Rakic got one back for Tunisia with a glancing header. Half-time in Monterrey. Sweden 2, Tunisia 1. Sweden off to the perfect start with Ayari thundering one in the 7th minute. That was after Isak sprung the offside and Gyökeres had a shot blocked on the line, but Ayari slammed it in from 20 plus yards out. They got a second in the 30th minute. Shamak Howler, Isak gets the goal driven in. Hey, warm welcome back to our coverage of the action taking place in Monterrey. It's the second Group F game, and in a group that also includes Germany and Curacao. Germany, of course, top the standings with a 7-1 victory. Sweden are going to join them on 3 points at the moment. Second half has just got underway. I'll just make sure there have been no changes. Doesn't appear to have been so. So it's 2-1 to Sweden at the interval, and you never quite know. They are in front and they were playing well, but obviously with the time becoming a factor in the second half, you never quite know how the leaders are going to play. You look at Switzerland, they didn't see out the game and there's a draw. I don't know how Sweden are going to play it. What are you expecting?
I don't really know, Rob. It's a really interesting one because Tunisia got that goal at a really, really good time. Or actually a really bad time, considering it probably gives them a boost of confidence. So we'll see how the first 5 minutes of the half goes. But if Sweden play like they did in the majority of the first half, then they'll definitely see this game out and probably score a few more.
Sweden back in possession, but defensively, Iron plays it across his own area to the keeper. And Nordfeldt feeds it out to the right-hand side. He's overhit it. I think the target was Nigrin, but he's only found Abdin. Tunisia back in possession into the 2nd minute of the second half. A quick reminder of the teams. As mentioned, no changes at the break. So the lineups: Sweden, Nordfeldt, Lagerbielke, Kien, Lindelof, Bernhardsen, Karlström, Ayari, Gudmundsson, Nygren, Gyökeres and Isak. And for Tunisia, Shamak, Benhamida, Rekic, Talbi, Valery, Abdi, Skiri, Kadira, Mejbri, Ben Slimani and Saad, who did look quite lively in the 2 or 3 moments that he had. Obviously a couple of efforts at goal, not really tested Nordfeldt yet, but he looked lively. Might have made a bigger impression than others. There's a foul coming in from Valery, sliding in trying to win the ball. He might have got a little piece of it, but he got plenty of Gudmundsson as well. No, he didn't get any of the ball. Oh, he did, but after he'd made contact with Gudmundsson. So the referee has given a free kick to Sweden just inside the Tunisian half. Still Sweden lead 2-1. Well, this game's certainly not done yet. Sweden would like to restore that 2-goal cushion. They looked to be cruising at 2-0 up, but a set piece changed all that. They dealt with a long throw, but of course hadn't really cleared their lines. Tunisia won the ball back. No foul on Ayari, but it's a terrible pass from Saad. Rakic has kept it alive, feeding it out to Valery, right-hand side, into Hannibal. Is allowed to turn edge of the box, down the channel, cross blocked. Falls kindly for Gudmundsson, who hooks it away. On the half turn, downfield, nobody down there for Sweden. Is this a sign of things to come? Isak and Gyökeres very deep.
Yeah, they weren't deep at all in the first half, were they? They were right up there, staying up, ready for a counter-attack. And Tunisia already have had much more possession than they did in any spell in the first half. So it's a complete opposite, a complete turn of roles here. It looks like Sweden are the ones sitting back, and Tunisia are the ones who are going to take control of the game and maintain possession and create chances.
Ball possession is around about 50-50 at this point. 5 shots to 3. Obviously not the greatest tally, but we've still had 3 goals, and we've barely completed a half. So there's a chance of more, particularly with the likes of Isak and Gyökeres on the field. Launched long by Tunisia. It's kept alive. Nobody in the box for Hannibal at the moment. Delays momentarily. Clips it in. Took a deflection, which took it towards goal. And Nordfeldt backpedaling makes the claim. I don't think Hannibal was trying to pick Nordfeldt off his line. I think that was a deflected cross. But it wasn't that far away. It's certainly on target. And it needed dealing with. As Sweden have it back into the 50th minute. Leading 2-1. All the goals in the first half, of course. Sweden 2 up inside 30 minutes, but just on the stroke of half time, Tunisia gave themselves a lifeline. Misjudgment down the left hand side. Isak's in behind, tries to fire it across. Gyökeres probably just held his run as Isak looked down at the ball to fire it. It looked as though Gyökeres was driving into the box. Unfortunately, the timing, they got it quite wrong, but again, might have actually been an offside anyway against Isak, but a horrible misjudgment from Ben Hamida anyway, and a bit of a let-off.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there, but that's the first time that Isak and Gyökeres haven't been, the telepathy's not been there. Isak's ball in, just Gyökeres went deeper, and Isak tried to get it across the goal, and they were just way off, wasn't they? So a let-off for Tunisia there.
Tunisia back in possession, still trailing but by only the 1 goal into the 51st minute. And they made a positive enough start in terms of possession in the second half, but as yet hasn't led to anything. As Rekic has it down the right hand side, he's been quite keen to get forward for Tunisia as they work it from right to left. Sweden have got everybody back behind the ball at the moment. Pocket of space for Saad, who's dropped off the defenders. Rides one challenge. Second one clears the ball. Karlström it was. I don't think Karlström's been penalised. I think it was the first challenge. Free kick to Tunisia. Too far out to go for goal. But a sense of frustration from Sweden. I say it wasn't Karlström who made the foul. I think Ayares made a foul, and then Karlström has hacked through the back of Saad anyway, so they probably both made a foul.
Yeah, they both did, yeah, and the one from Karlström was, like I say, frustration, definitely frustration. He sort of just kicked out there, didn't he, really? It's an opportunity now for Tunisia to straight direct down the middle, isn't it? So it's not going to be a strike. You imagine one of them is going to float it in for someone to head home.
Yeah, it's not as far out as I initially thought, but it's still a fair way out. It's a good 30 plus yards. I wouldn't be surprised if it's approaching 40. But Hannibal's taking a run-up as though he means business, and up he steps, and he has gone for goal. It had the power, but it never quite looked as though it was ever coming down, and it didn't. It's over the bar. Not a bad strike, but ambitious.
It would have had to be the goal of the tournament for it to go in. You rarely see them go in, don't you, from there. 40 yards, straight down the middle, going for the old knuckleball, and it didn't quite come off Hannibal, did it?
Nice. I've seen worse strikes, that is for sure, but not threatening the target on this occasion. First attempt of the second half has gone the way of the side that have started better possession-wise. But, it's a strike from 35 yards out, so let's not get too excited about their chances of levelling matters on the evidence of one shot. Nordfeldt has it. Eventually clears it down the right-hand side. Towering header won by Abdi. There's a player down. I think it's Bernhardsson. Sweden have possession. Another player down, but Sweden are attacking in numbers, and Gyökeres drives to the edge of the box. Shot blocked, comes back to him. Isak takes over, although he's going away from goal. One or two little dabbles at the ball from Tunisia is risky in the area. Flag's gone up. for offside against Isak, assuming. There's a yellow card in the hands of the referee, Yael Falcon Perez. I'm not sure. He's giving it to Khedira. Footballers do have a tendency to think walking away from the referee and not looking kind of negates a yellow card. It doesn't. The referee just waited for Khedira to turn around. I suppose he's got no real complaints.
No, it was a late sliding challenge on Karlström's side. Definitely a deserved yellow card there for Khedira. First of the game, I think. First of the game,
either side, which obviously doesn't help Tunisia's chances at the moment. Yellow cards do play a part in placements in the standings as they take shape after one game. More yellow cards is a hindrance, of course, in cases of a draw, as it's throw-in for Tunisia. Down the left, Saad making the run. Across comes Hyan, and he's pat to put it behind. We haven't had many set pieces, but Tunisia do have one. Their first corner of the contest. Sweden have only had two. And I think there was at least one chance from a corner because Lindelof headed over in a crowd. Sweden very noticeably basically loaded the centre of the 6-yard box and generally put in in-swingers. This is also going to be an in-swinger from the Tunisian left. Hannibal delivering. It's not such a crowded 6-yard box around the keeper at least. Delivery is in towards the near post, and for a moment I thought Talbi was climbing highest. Doesn't quite reach him. It's only headed back to Hannibal, who'll cross in again. Once more headed clear. Goodmanson actually got tripped up by his own teammate as he cleared, and Goycres has picked it up. The break is on for the blue and yellow. Slipped through to Isak, who lost the ball momentarily. He also looked offside, and I think the referee didn't. The assistant referee didn't put his flag up. I think that's the semi-automated offside kicking in. Pass didn't come soon enough, or he tried to hold his run, but then he just couldn't hold it enough. He was desperate to go. He looks offside anyway.
Yeah, he was definitely offside. Gyökeres just took too long. But Tunisian defence did a good job of slowing Gyökeres down, blocking the pass to Isak. So Isak had no choice but to sort of go, and Gyökeres just was too late with the pass. So they were really, really effective in the first half, Gyökeres and Isak. And it seems like the second half, the telepathy between the two just hasn't seemed to have been there the same way it was in the first half so far in the second.
Yeah, they've seen much less of the ball though, Sweden. 67-33. Couple of efforts at goal for Tunisia. One from Sweden in the second half. Obviously there weren't that many in the first, but we still got 3 goals. But none of the shots have been on target in this second half, as Sweden are on the attack. Made a slow start, maybe weathering the storm, but the 1-2 doesn't quite work. And Tunisia back in possession. Hannibal turning on the halfway line. He's got Valery marauding down the right hand side. Feeds him now. He's only got one in the box to aim for, so doesn't try. And they wait for the red shirts to funnel forward. Hannibal switches it from right to left. Now it's going to be crossed in. Little back heel attempted. It looked all too nonchalant. Khedira had more time than he thought, but didn't attempt to try and control the ball. It's cleared away by Sweden. Going back to retrieve it is Talbi. And nobody from a Sweden perspective is in the Tunisia half, as that's another good switch of play from Hannibal to Saad. Left edge of the box, crosses to the far post. Good header clear from Goodmanson, and he's fouled as well. Good brave defending from Goodmanson. Free kick to Sweden inside their own box, with the hour mark approaching. Maybe the signal for one of the managers, you would think, maybe to make a change. But yeah, Sweden, I think they've been quite passive. It's inviting a bit of pressure. It could be dangerous.
Yeah, Tunisia have definitely come out in the second half as the better team. Way better than they were in the first half. Sweden haven't really got going. You dominated possession in the first half. We're moving the ball around nicely. Isak and Gyökeres were creating problems, but we haven't seen any of that in the second half. It's all been in Tunisia's favour so far.
Sweden back on the attack, left-hand side. Isak onside this time, near the corner flag, onto his right foot. He's thinking about what to do with it. Ayari is in support, as is Gudmundsson. Back to Lindelof. There's many Sweden players in the Tunisian half at the moment that have been all second half. Deep cross from Ayari. Too deep over everybody. A thumbs up from Gyökeres. And applause from Potter, but probably undeserving. Just team encouragement as much as anything. The Sweden fans are still enjoying themselves. They're still leading, of course. 2-1. Oh, ball over the top, and Gyökeres thought he'd got in behind Ben Amida there, but quickly off his line, Shamak makes the claim just inside his own box. Oh, caught in possession. Tunisia, Isak has it into the box. Gyökeres, keep it a beat, and he does precisely that. What on earth were Tunisia doing? Caught in possession, scary, I think it was. Isak took it from him. I'm not entirely convinced that Isak's looking to pass it to Gyökeres, but he was half tackled. Gyökeres took over, drilled it past the keeper. Sweden back in control.
Oh, it's an absolute gift for Sweden, given to them by the Tunisian captain Skiri. Just gives it away on the edge of his area after receiving the rollout from the goalkeeper. Isak was good in the press. Tried to go himself, I think, didn't he? But pass to Gyökeres was on, so he used Gyökeres and he slots it home very, very nicely.
Yeah, just gave him no chance at all. I don't really know what Skiri was doing. He tried to rectify the situation and maybe did put Isak off, but Isak had Gyökeres on his shoulder and the Osman did the rest. And this is one of those, I suppose, you might be in two minds. Should the keeper have rolled it out to Skiri? Should Skiri have done better with it? I mean, you could put blame on either player. I mean, the important thing is, of course, in terms of the context of the game, is Sweden look, dare I say, at home and host.
Yeah, I mean, it was always risky from the keeper to give it to Skiri, but you imagine Skiri's probably asking for the ball in that position. I think he was asking for it. But it turned out to be a big mistake from both of them. But Skiri's the one who lost the ball, so ultimately he's the one who's probably mostly at fault for the goal. And it's come at a really, really, really bad time because Tunisia looked like they were fully back in the game.
Yeah, Gyökeres, of course, had a great little playoff performance, 4 goals in those 2 games, and he'd be delighted to get off his World Cup campaign off to a goal-scoring start. Joining Ayari and Isak on the score sheet. Rakic, of course, responding at the end of the first half, but Tunisia mounting to climb. Obviously, time's very much a factor now. Try and watching replays of the goal there. Don't think either side's made any changes, and Tunisia have given the ball away again, although that's poor from Karlström. Working out to the left-hand side, he's underhit the pass. Great place from Valerie to get around Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson recovers, he gets a foot in, toes it behind. Corner to Tunisia. Gudmundsson's just made the universal indication that he needs to sub himself, or get the referee to sub himself. He doesn't want to leave Sweden short-handed, so he's going to try and defend the corner. But he might have pulled a hammy, stretching. He could have done anything. Clearly he knows what the problem is. He's not gone down trying to time waste, but because he's made that call, I think he's basically not going to defend inside the box. Gyökeres switched places, and then of course the delivery, it doesn't even bounce in the 18-yard box. It bounces before it and it's cleared momentarily. Hannibal, is he brought down by Isak? He tried to make it look as though he was. Referee says no foul, and now there's a counter on. Gyökeres is onside, left-hand side. It's got Nygren in the middle. Tries to take on his man. Good defending in the end from Ben Hamida, because for a moment it looked a 2-on-1 situation, but Ben Hamida dealt with it. And now there's a counter on. There's a Tunisia player goes down off the ball. Sweden concede a foul. Hannibal going down. He wasn't the one who went down previously. The referee has got things to sort out. 63 minutes ticking over. Obviously, I mean, he has kind of tripped him, Lindelof, but he stayed on his feet. Hannibal's got the decision this time. Haven't seen a replay. Presumably Slightly off the ball incident moments ago. Trying to stop the counter. It does look as though Sweden are going to make a double change. It's not just Gudmundsson, we don't think he's going off. Bergvall, certainly an option who might be coming on. He's stripped and ready to do exactly that. But it looks as though it's a double change as well. I think that's Zanelli who might be entering the fray. I think. But first of all, Gudmundsson is certainly one of the players going off, and that could be a blow. He was chasing back, knew he'd done himself a little injury, immediately signalled he needed to go off, and of course if he's out for 1 or 2 matches, that could be a massive blow.
Yeah, he's been superb for Leeds this season, hasn't he? And he's had a really, really good battle with Valerie on that attacking right-hand side this game. I wonder if he was injured in a tussle between the two players, because Valerie has fouled him a few times. So I'm not entirely sure what the injury is, but he's had to come right off, and double change has been made for Sweden.
Well, a man who's replaced Gudmundsson because he was in shot is actually Elliot Stroud. Free kick they had, 35 yards out, way over the bar, and it's not a shot at goal. The delivery from set pieces have been pretty poor. Bergvall and Stroud on, by the way, and Nygren has joined Gudmundsson in making way. I suppose he's not been quite as prominent as obviously the two front men, but they've both scored, Isak and Gyökeres. I thought there might have been a temptation from Potter to perhaps rest Isak. Obviously he's had an injury concern this season, or plenty of them, and of course they're 3-1 up, but I don't know whether he's trying to get a bit more fitness into Isak's legs.
Yeah, I'm sure he was tempted, because whenever Isak has started in the Premier League for Liverpool this season, he's rarely seen past the hour mark. But there's a chance here for Gyökeres. Oh, he strikes it right over the top of the bar, just on the volley there. Good opportunity for Gyökeres. But Potter seems to be sticking with the 2 men up top. Why not? They've both scored, so there's no reason to take them off. Maybe get another goal, and then he can look to make a change. Like I say, in the first half, goal difference could come to be important later on in the group.
He's certainly, they're not doing themselves any favours, Tunisia, possession in their own half, not just conceding that third goal. Chance there for Gyökeres, who's not that far out on the sort of half volley. It's quite a long half volley, so maybe just the extra little bounce gave him more time, not deliberately, to get underneath it, and hence couldn't keep it down. Bergvall doesn't get a free kick that he wants. And in many ways, I quite like the way this World Cup's gone in free kick sort of situations. A lot of players feel any kind of touch and go over, but unlike the Premier League, they don't always get the free kick.
Yeah, I guess it's something you get when you have referees from across world football, really, isn't it? So they've all got different styles. They probably all got like their own different style. So it's not going to be like the Premier League, where the free kicks given very, very softly these days. Too soft in my opinion. So it's good to see some of the soft challenges let go and the games flow, because they're so interrupted by hydration breaks that when we are playing, we have to let the game flow as much as possible.
Sweden on the counter again. Gyökeres leading the charge, feeds it to Isak, who cuts inside, can't find the gap though, blocked by the legs of Rekic, kept alive by Gyökeres, although Tunisia have got plenty back behind the ball. Referee's just looking at his watch there. I wasn't sure if he'd stopped the play, because Sweden have reduced it to walking pace, but that's because Tunisia aren't pressurising them. They still retreat to the halfway line in possession. In control of this game. Of course, I did hint that they may see it as a must-win, and although goal difference might play its part, one win might be enough to be good enough for the third spot. They're on the attack again down the right-hand side. Cross comes in from Bergvall. It's just a bit too high for Gyökeres. It looped over the keeper, I was going to say perfectly, but it stayed high enough that Gyökeres can't recover, and he's going away from goal, trying to hook it over his own shoulder.
Yeah, decent ball in from Bergvall. Made a good run down that right-hand channel, but it was a little bit too much on the ball for Gyökeres, who tried an acrobatic attempt at the ball, but completely missed it, and the ball's gone out for a goal kick to Tunisia, I think.
Yeah, might have landed awkwardly as well on his hip kind of situation. Never going to score there, actually. Always too high, always going away from him. And that is the point at which the referee decides it's hydration break time. Sweden won't mind, they're in control. Obviously, Tunisia are not helping themselves, and their threat hasn't really materialised since the third goal. They were doing all right up to a point, but maybe that third goal has just taken the wind out of their sails. But now they've got a hydration break. Obviously, Sabri Lamouchi can make some changes, tactics, make personnel changes, as well as perhaps just trying to reinvigorate his men with a second wind. I don't know. They needed something because he wasn't quite happening on the field.
Yeah, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot, didn't they, with that third Sweden goal with the mistake from Skiri. But it looks like they're going to make at least one change. I guess that's the benefit of these hydration breaks, is that managers can give some more information to their team and change tactics, make a few changes. As we see the goals again, 3 in the first half, 2 for Sweden, 1 for Tunisia, and then Skiri with that mistake and pounced on by Isaac, who slides it into Gyökeres, who slots it home for Sweden's third. So yeah, Tunisia, probably time to make a change. They haven't made a change so far, so I think it's time to make at least one sub.
Yeah, this isn't a squad necessarily blessed with international goals. Difficult to work out where he might change. I'm surprised he hasn't made a change already, though, Sabri Lamouchi. Obviously, Sweden have at 3-1 up. Obviously, you wouldn't necessarily say that's protecting the 2-goal cushion. Fresh legs, the energy that somebody like Bergvall can provide in the central positions. Not afraid to get forward, but will put in a shift as well. But they have struggled to create chances, Tunisia. And of course, the third goal, 59 minutes, that's 11 minutes ago, and they still haven't made a change. I'm not sure what Lamouchi's waiting for.
Yeah, I actually thought that they were going to make a change at half-time. But Lamouchi decided against it. They ended the first half quite well, and he went with the same 11 that played the first half, and they did start the second half quite well. But since Sweden's third goal, they've just shown nothing. So I think it's probably time for him to make it a couple of changes, surely.
Yeah, time is very much running out. I mean, they've just had a hydration break. This would be, I guess, an annoying thing about football in the sense that they've had a 3-minute hydration break. There looks to me as though there are 3. Yeah, they've just shown it. I was going to say they could have done this at the hydration break, but they're making 3 changes now after the hydration break's finished. Skiri is going off. I don't think that is necessarily simply because he made a mistake, just a change of energy. Saad is also making way. Tenetki has come on, as has Belhaj. And it looks as though Valerie might also be departing for Tunisia. Confirm that in a moment. Yeah, Tenetki, Tenetki, Belhaj and Achuri are on. Saad, Valerie and Skiri are off. I mean, Valerie has at least offered wit. I mean, I thought Saad was all right in the sense that if he passed him the ball, he's quite willing to take on a defender. I couldn't say the same about others necessarily, so I'm a little bit surprised. But 3 changes, and we've just talked about it. They needed to do something. They're losing 3-1 with time running out, as it's hit long and deep by Iron. I think he's actually just finding touch. Gyökeres doesn't even bother trying to challenge for that one. 17 minutes of the 90 to go. Iron's got some more defending to do, and he does, showing good strength as well to hold off his man. Turns, clears downfield. Tenetki it was who's making that run down that left-hand side. So clearly he's gone into an advanced position. Achuri, you might think, will get a little bit further forward than Skiri did. He doesn't exactly look particularly confident at the moment. Belaj was the other man who came on. But as we said, they had to do something. Sweden obviously haven't been threatened against for a long time in this contest, and it looks a little bit men against boys at the moment. Struggling for ideas. I guess they think Hannibal is the creator in this side. I've been quite disappointed with others. You know, Ben Slimani, I thought Saad in these little patches, but he's playing as the outlet and they never got him the ball. There's plenty of players who've done nothing in this game.
Yeah, there is, and I don't think Hannibal's got himself involved too much. He's picked up the ball there. He was very, very deep, so he's not going to really, interfere with play too much from such a deep position, as he gives away a foul there. And he's a frustrated figure at the moment, isn't he, Hannibal? Who usually would be there. You expect him to be their talisman, don't you?
Yeah, he's gets frustrated quite easily. I don't think that's in doubt, as he has won a free kick though for his side. But time ticks, little over 15 minutes to go, and it's Sweden in control of this contest, deservedly so as well, really. Obviously they got the early goal. I mean, they haven't had that many shots, but you score an early goal, you basically pick your moments, and they scored 2 other goals, might have scored others. They've kept Tunisia generally at arm's length. This is a good break from TNT, helped out by Ben Slimani, but just going laterally across the pitch, not really driving into the box, not committing defenders. Sweden have regrouped, they still have possession. This time TNT does try and take on his man, but good defending in the end from Malaga Bielka. Feeds it up to Gykaris, who holds it up well, gets it back, now feeds it to Isak, who's waiting for the overlapping support. Comes from Stroud, left hand side, who's trying to go round Belaj, and gets to the byline. Belaj recovers with a block behind, but it still will be a corner kick, and so they are still getting forward, Sweden.
Yeah, good bit of pace there from Stroud to take a pass, and good defending from Belaj. Opportunity now for Sweden to whip in another corner and get one of their men on the end of it.
Time continues to tick. 14 minutes left plus stoppage time. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. And this corner again invokes the ganging up on the goalkeeper. The referee is trying to have words. Again, would you believe, Hannibal is the man who's most upset by it, as it's whipped in towards the near post, headed away by, I think that was Rekic, volleyed up in the air by Stroud. Bit of an up and under, might have come down on the hand of Hyan, and it has, so it's an accidental handball and a free kick to Tunisia inside their own box. I mean, there's a risk there because they can give a foul before the ball is delivered in, and clearly not wishing just to pile on the pressure on Hannibal. He's clearly got 2 arms and pushing his man. It was quite obvious there.
Yeah, we see it all the time, don't we? It's a clever tactic from Graham Potter to just completely flood the 6-yard area and just create as much havoc as possible, and potentially all sorts of scenarios can happen when you're flooding the 6-yard area like that. You could win a penalty, you could cause a mistake, the goalkeeper might come out and fail to collect the ball. So it's a clever tactic from Sweden.
Tunisia back in possession, but forced back to the keeper, and Shamak launches it downfield. Hannibal looks to switch it over to the left hand side, but too many defenders who re-clear it to the halfway line. Another early crossfield ball from Hannibal, this time left to right, headed away by Lindelof, forward by Rekic, picked up though by Achuri, who did show some momentum going forward, but then checked back to get away from the yellow shirts. Fed out to Belaj, right hand side. Achuri's carried on his run. Will the flag stay down? It has. Gets to the byline, crosses to the far post, headed away by Lager Bielka. Then the flag goes up. He looked offside from the first pass through, but I suppose they've got to make sure. And it's another attack that comes to nothing. Bit of energy down the right-hand side, but at the moment not really threatening.
No, not really, and he was way offside there, wasn't he? Ashuri, so not really a proper chance, and it seems like the game's just passing Tunisia by a little bit. I think he's made those subs a little bit too late.
Cleared downfield by Nordfeldt. Gyökeres has turned his man. He then almost left the ball behind. He's managed to recover it, but then Tunisia win it back with Belhaj. Doubling up. They try and clear. There's a break on. Maybe a slight obstruction from Lindelof. No. Achuri's never going to get the ball. So it's a throw into Sweden just inside the Tunisia half. Left hand side. Referee is indicating 5 seconds. That's clear. Stroud down the line. Isak flicks on. Gyökeres does a bit of ball juggling. Then hooks it over his shoulder. Doesn't quite clear Rakic. Tunisia clear to the halfway line. And Lindelof. Sweden have it back. Stroud to Gyökeres, flick out to Isak. Left edge goes early towards the far post, just lack the pace to get that cross across to the late arriving Bernhardsen. Cleared away by Ben Amida, but another throw into Sweden. And imagine the referee will be indicating 5-second countdown again, which again is another positive move, I think. Don't see so much time wasting throw-ins. I do like the steps that FIFA is trying to make. Tunisia down the left-hand side. Need a goal quick. 10 minutes to go. 3-1 down. It's Hannibal. Central position now. Floats it over everybody. Easy claim for Nordfeldt. I don't even know who Hannibal was looking for there. Should have crossed on the left-hand side, I think. But that's something they don't want to do, put in those crosses. Admittedly, none of them have been good apart from the actual goal they scored. Yeah, that one there, it was sort of aimless from Hannibal. But at the same time, none of his teammates were making any kind of run for him. There was a lot of space in behind. Sweden defence was very, very high. So there could have been a run made, but no one seemed to do it. So it made Hannibal's pass look pretty terrible. But I feel for him a little bit there because he is trying to make things happen. Sweden are putting their subs out, maybe more fresh legs, although Elenga's one of those, and he obviously is an attacker with plenty of pace, perhaps trying to exploit an overcommitted Tunisia side in the last few minutes. 9 to go with the 90 plus stoppage time. Sweden 3-1 up, and I might have been expecting far fewer goals in this contest looking at Tunisia's record. Having said that, Sweden's defensive record isn't good, so I didn't think it was going to be 0-0. Just perhaps wasn't expecting Sweden to score 3, but they have looked to cut above Tunisia in this contest. At the moment they just got possession, and at what point will Tunisia close them down? Lindelof has it, he's stood there and he's waiting to be closed down. I don't understand the tactics at all of Tunisia at the moment, although that is loose from Ayari. He's given it away. Ball played over the top, but too far. Through to Nordfeldt, and Sweden have possession back. I don't know what Tunisia are waiting for. They're 3-1 down, and they're allowing Lindelof to stand on the ball. Yeah, no intensity at all from Tunisia. I don't know what instructions they're getting from the coach. I don't know what's going through their minds, but they need a goal soon if they want to get anything from this game. They need to go on the attack and start playing with a bit more intensity. Need the ball at the moment, which they haven't got. Sweden have it halfway inside the Tunisia half, and it's Bernhardsen who's gone down under pressure. I think that was a grab of the arm as much as anything from Abdi. Free kick to Sweden, halfway inside the Tunisia half, maybe a little bit closer than halfway to the 18-yard box. Just a couple of changes are going to be made now by Tunisia. Khedira, who is on a yellow card, he's one of the players making way. Again, perhaps too little too late as far as Tunisia are concerned. Ben Slimani is another player going off. Yeah, I'm not sure he's necessarily covered himself in glory in this game. Well, you could argue that not many wearing red have. Change being made by Sweden 2. Karlström has gone off. And Svanberg has come on in his place. As the the free kick is taken. Bounces through! Oh, and the substitute has just come on the field. He's flicked it home through a crowd of players. The flag has gone up for offside. The scoreboard flashed over 4-1. I don't think this is the goal scorer that's offside. I don't know if there's a player, somebody in front of the keeper.
Well, I'm going to have to see it again. Because Svanberg has just come on and he thought he'd scored in his first touch of the game. Oh, and he is offside.
He is offside. He's miles
offside.
Oh, I tell you what, the ball is nowhere near him, but because Isak, who went for the back heel and missed it, and so the next touch is Svanberg, of course, it wasn't touched. If Isak gets a boot on that, he's not offside. Any kind of boot, a feather.
Yeah, and it looks like that might have been a training ground. If it had come off, it looked like it was a training ground routine where the ball's short to Isak and Svanberg comes from an offside position to retrieve the ball, but Isak missed it, didn't he? And Svanberg ultimately is in a way offside position. But they are checking it and they are taking their time to look through this, aren't they, Rob?
They're probably going to wonder whether Isak brushed the ball with any kind of part of his boot, because it's obviously then the second phase.
It didn't look like he touched it to me, but I mean, we don't have those magnifying glass cameras, do we? But it looked like he completely missed it. But the Sweden players seem pretty adamant that Isak got a touch and that this goal should stand.
It's not obvious. What I feel sorry for the ref now is both sets of players getting their opinion out. He's not making the decision. VAR is making the decision. And yet the referee, I think he's taking charge, in fairness to him. Oh, did he just say goal?
Well, Lindelof just ran off as if he's just said goal. And it is a goal.
It is a goal. It is a fourth goal for Sweden. Svanberg can now celebrate. It didn't look obvious that Isak got a touch, but VAR has decided he must have. And they've given the goal. I wouldn't say it's affected the result. It might affect future Tunisia because of the goal difference, but on the evidence of the performance, it's difficult to see them troubling the other two sides. It's not a game changer. With time running out, 3.5 minutes to go, 3-1 becoming 4-1 has hardly ruined the contest, but of course goal difference might play its part.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Tunisia players are arguing with the referee, but we're looking at we're looking at a replay now from the goal, and Isak, it must have been the slightest touch, a brush, like you said, Robbie. You said before. You said they need a brush, a slight brush, and I think that's all they got. It's a brush at most, but it's all that it takes, and it counts, and it's 4-1 to Sweden.
Yeah, is it clear and obvious that there was a brush? The officials didn't think there was a touch. So presumably the referee who was closest to it didn't hear anything either, and VAR have decided it's a goal. As I say, it's not a game changer, and Tunisia haven't been good enough. Simple as that. Surprising one though, that the one player that they left free was Isak running down that near post. Sweden are looking for a fifth. They can relax knowing that they've already wrapped up this game. And here they go. Gyökeres pulled it back. Isak shot saved. That's a brilliant save in the end from Shamak. Running onto it, hit with force. First time this time from the Liverpool striker. And a ball over the top the other way. Tunisia looks offside actually. I thought there might have been a defender Now the flag has gone up, so it will be offside. But yeah, good save from Shamak to deny Isak a fifth Sweden goal.
Yeah, good save from Shamak. As you said, it was the Gyökeres and Isak link up again. And that time Isak just couldn't finish it off. It's a decent save, but Tunisia, it's almost a case of how many now, isn't it, for Sweden? Because they only scored 2 or 3 minutes ago, and straight off the bat they got another big chance to get the fifth.
Yeah, if you're being cynical, you might have said Sweden could have pushed a little bit earlier because Tunisia weren't offering a threat against them. But I guess you play it safe first and build from it. The goal came from a set piece, which wasn't necessarily them pushing bodies forward. Of course, after they'd scored that fourth goal, they immediately could have scored a fifth. Maybe the shackles were off then. Looks as though they're going to make a change or so. 89 minutes completed. Bergvall turns, trying to get away from Garbi. Might have been tugged back. He stayed on his feet anyway. Now has found Ayari. Hannibal's won it back though for Tunisia. And then tries to round Bergvall. He doesn't win a free kick, and it's fallen kindly. Gyökeres into the box. Squiz to Bergvall. Keep it to beat. Oh my word, he's placed it way over the bar. Unless that took a deflection right at the last. He's got the keeper to beat, 10 yards out. What brilliant defending this was. If it was a corner kick given, I think it's Ben Amida coming across. And that's a brilliant block.
Yeah, great block. Really big chance for Bergvall, who's been really, really good since he's come on. Surprised he didn't start, actually. Showed a lot of energy and quality on the ball. And nearly another assist for Gyökeres. But yeah, great bit of defending there from the Tunisia defence.
Yeah, Ben Hamida it was. I mean, there's still, it's independent unofficial off-tube stereo commentary. He's still showing Alexander Isak motion of foot towards the ball. Not clear-cut, in my opinion, in any way, whether he's touched it or not. Do you think he's... I'm not asking you to agree with me, but they keep showing that replay, and it doesn't exactly scream, yes, he has touched it.
I honestly can't tell. I really can't tell. I guess if they've given it, he must have had the slightest touch. Surely.
Isak's been replaced. Elanga's come on. In fact, Elanga and Svensson have come on. I'll confirm the other player to have gone up. Elanga, well, he'll offer a bit of pace, but there's only stoppage time to play. And I don't want to say Sweden have missed out. 4-1 up is a pretty healthy advantage in an opening World Cup game. Sweden absolutely bossing things at the moment. 6 minutes of stoppage time, but a minute's been completed. Ben Hardson is the other player to have made way. Svensson replacing him. Ball downfield from Sweden. Well gathered by Ben Hamida, who's actually been put under pressure by Bergvall. Does well. Holds him off. Goes in field. Tunisia start again, but they've got less than 5 minutes of stoppage time to, I don't know, improve a goal different situation. As a run down the line from Achuri, it's blocked off by Lindelof. This will be a free kick. Lindelof screaming how at the assistant referee. Screaming it. Maybe, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a clothesline, but the arm did come out. I think we know how a referee came to a decision. Free kick. Their delivery from set pieces has been pretty poor. Tunisia got to do better. It's not Hannibal on this one. It leases into a dangerous area, but it's Sweden who headed away. Picked up by Achuri. He's lining up a shot 35 yards out, and that's parried away by Nordfeldt. It looked to be straight at him. Abdi is penalised, chasing down his opposite number, Lagerbielke. He felt Lagerbielke's gone down very easily. But shot from Achuri. Is this just out of pure desperation?
Yeah, we're seeing that Isak one again. What are they showing us here? This graph. Is it a touch graph that we're looking at here?
It's not obvious. It's like snickometer for those who follow the cricket, but there's a constant snick. They haven't stilled it and played it you're just seeing the same thing replayed, and you don't know if that's the ball or the design of the thing. I don't know. That to me isn't cleared. And since when has stickometer been included in VAR technology? I don't know. They've got something.
I mean, when they're pulling the stickometer out, you know it's a fine line between a touch and not a touch. So I didn't know they had that kind of technology in football. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I would suggest that's not clear and obvious, but maybe that's not a rule that's applied anymore. I don't know. As Tunisia is still looking for what can only be a consolation at this late stage. Their first goal, offside given again. Chow it is, who's gone a bit too early, desperate to get in behind. Looked as though that goal just before half-time at least gave Tunisia something to have a go at in the second half. But the third goal, let's not forget, it was rolled out to Skiri, who was then tackled by Isak. I mean, in the D with support as well. I mean, it's just terrible decision making. Whether Isak's touched for the fourth goal is debatable, but it's not changed the game. That mistake they made just shy of the hour to give Sweden the third goal has effectively killed off the chances. I'm trying to remember the last, sensible, clear-cut opportunity that Tunisia have had. Yes, Achuri's just hit the target from 30-odd yards out, but the only thing that surprised me there was the keeper didn't catch it.
Yeah, the chances for Tunisia have been few and far between. I don't recall any in the second half at all. So it's been a really disappointing evening for them in what was a really, really big game and a really, really good opportunity to get the 3 points. We know that Sweden struggled to get here. So Tunisia probably would have fancied themselves, especially in the heat, they would have fancied themselves to get something. But I have to say, Sweden have impressed me a lot, actually.
Yeah, they've been solid at the back and, of course, scored 4 goals and they had other chances. I suppose if you're being critical, Bergvald's won the ball back. Chance for a shot. Oh, what a strike that is. Ayari with his second, another thunderbolt. And again, Tunisia caught in possession. Take nothing away from the finish, though. Bergvald working hard to win it back. And Ayari has drilled it across the keeper. Chamak, no chance at all. Sweden, who had a terrible qualifying campaign, could not have dreamed of making a start to the tournament like this, but they have done. Sweden 5, Tunisia 1.
Unbelievable strike from Ayari. He opened the scoring, didn't he, in the 7th minute? He didn't celebrate that one because of his Tunisian ties, but he couldn't help but celebrate this one because that is one hell of a strike. Probably one of the goals of his career, and certainly one of the goals of the World Cup so far.
Yeah, again, caught in possession. I mean, this is why you might think Sweden aren't necessarily that standout. There's been a mistake, 2 mistakes caught in possession. Obviously, whether Isak touched the ball is debatable. You might argue that was when the game is won. But, I mean, the finishing has been superb. Chamak's made a couple of good saves as well. They could have scored more than 5. I'm trying to make it sound like 5's a problem. But, yeah, Tunisia found out in this contest. Graham Potter be a hero in Sweden after that qualifying campaign where they didn't win a game. In fact, that is the full-time whistle. It completes the scoring. And Sweden, very rampant winners. They didn't quite match the top of the table, of course, I beg your pardon, having the other game having finished 2-2. Sweden in control. It's finished. Sweden 5, Tunisia 1.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck!